Hello, my name's Chris, and today Atomic Labs is happy to announce Pion Replay. Pion Replay enables you to actually see your customers moving through your website. Pion Replay delivers visibility through your customers' eyes, enabling you to have improved site usability, faster problem resolution because you can see what they saw, improved dispute resolution because you have a record of what happened between your back-end servers and your end users, and complete session tracking so you can see what happened every step of the way, not just a collection of pages. And of course, rapid time to value. All of the value in the world doesn't matter if you can't deploy it. And with Pion, you don't have to do any coding changes or site changes. It doesn't require any custom or proprietary hardware that you have to buy from us. You can simply use it on your normal hardware that you're used to. It's simple to use and configure, and we can measure deployments in minutes, not months, leading you to actually see your customers very quickly. So let's take a look at what that looks like by doing a walkthrough and actually setting Pion up to monitor a website. All right, so what you see now is the user interface you'll see when you log into Pion for the first time. You'll actually see that there are some examples predefined for you to use. And in our case today, I think what we ought to do is just go ahead and choose a website to go browse and capture that for replay. I'm going to actually go after General Electric's website, but you can choose yours. And one of the first things we need to do is actually capture information about that website. And so for that, what we're going to need is we're going to need to listen to the conversation that's happening between the browsers or the users out there talking to the website and the back-end systems. And the way we do that is we actually just drag and drop one of our sniffer inputs. Now, we have many different ways of capturing information. The sniffer is one that's actually going to listen to the network interface and grab information about the HTTP or HTTPS traffic that's on there. So in this case, I'm going to use my laptop and just my Wi-Fi connection. If we happen to be inside a data center setting this up, I'll see all users. But since I'm just doing a demo today from my laptop, all we're going to see is me. So all I need to do now is select that interface. So I open up the configuration for the sniffer reactor. And I'm going to go ahead and select my, my network card from that. And if I want to, I can apply some filters. This one is chosen to already look for just web traffic. If I want, I can choose custom ports, only focus on particular servers, so I can filter out a lot of the noise or things we're not supposed to see. Also, I can apply SSL certificates in here as well, so that if it is encrypted, Pion can actually grab that as well. It'll work like a web server in reverse. So I'm going to save that. And so now what I have is I have that wireless connection defined. And now all I have to do is link it together. And what you'll see here is different building blocks that we're actually building a flow out of. We call those reactors, if you haven't seen any of the other Flash demos that we have. And there are three types. There are reactors for collecting information, processing that information once it comes through, and then storing that. And we're going to actually use all three today. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect that wireless connection up to a processing reactor, or in this case a filter reactor. And this one is built to only get traffic from the website. So often there are things we want to filter out. And to do that, I'm just going to double click on that one. And it's going to enable me to do some comparisons. For a previous demo I was doing, I was actually removing some web pages and looking to make sure that the value isn't a blank page. They have some blank pages being served. Here I'm actually going to select what I want to look for. And in this case, I just want to make sure that I get GE data and nothing else that's being synchronized by my instant messenger client or those sorts of things. I have a noisy desktop, as many of you do, constantly checking for updates. And so I'm going to look for the host to tell me that this is GE. And basically what I want to do is just make sure that the host contains the phrase ge.com. And I can choose how these are matched. I'm going to make sure I match all of them, so it has to match both parameters. So I'm hoping they don't have a blank page, but if they do, I'm okay there too. And I'm going to actually save this. And now I have the capability to actually start and stop every reactor. So I'll choose to start that and apply the filter. And what you'll see is after it's gone through that filter to make sure it's GE traffic, what Pion does is it's going to break it apart and sessionize it. So what that means is we're looking at the raw data, the pages and the hits and those sorts of things, and turning that into the raw requests for content. These are things that really most of your analytics tools today don't understand, but we can actually capture them for replay and get a very, very granular level of detail that isn't typically available with things like page tags or server logs. It's just not possible. But we also want to grab page events too, and these are the pages that people click through, and these are important for our integrations with WebTrends, with Omniture, and with Google Analytics, because this is their bread and butter. What page was clicked on, what did that page contain, all of that is stored in the page events. And then there's a third level of information that actually contains session level detail. It actually crosses all the pages. So how are these sessions put together? Who are the users of that session? What are the things that we know about those? And we break those out for technologies that do have the ability to understand that. And it gives us better visibility into who's doing what than traditional cookies would do. And we can be very effective in how we manage that. And then after we capture all that, you'll see that it's actually stored in some databases. So I'm all set. All I have to do is make sure I start listening to my wireless interface. So I'll click play, and then I'm going to go ahead and go visit GE's website. So we'll type in the address here. I'm going to go to www.ge.com. And one of the things we'll see is that we're capturing information about their site right now. It's all going through Pion. Another thing I should point out that we capture is we actually capture performance variables too, so we can see how long pages took. And I'll just browse around the site a bit. Let's learn a little bit about their company. Maybe some research and development. I'm interested in what's going on there. It actually turns out that I am also an investor in GE, so I'm interested in some stock information. I might also be interested in some particular products and services that they might have, so I could go and drill down on those. For instance, maybe I want to learn a little bit more about their energy and some of the things they're doing in the green world. And of course, something that's really hard in a lot of cases to do via page tags, internal search terms. So we can go ahead and execute a search here, and I'm interested in information on wind energy. We'll wait for that to respond, and then I can go ahead and take a look at that. So basically what you'll see is we're moving through the site, doing things users would normally do, and as we're doing that, Pion's actually capturing that information for replay, for processing. If I want to send it off to Web Analytics, that's all possible. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on in Pion. When you're designing, you'll spend most of your time in the Reactors tab, which is where we were before, setting up the flow. But now I want to go to the Replay tab and see what we captured. Now, in a production environment, what you're going to see is you're going to see hundreds of thousands or millions of different user sessions a day. And so we have a search functionality inside of Pion that will help you find those to get just the people you're looking for. In this case, I see just the one we did there. But I might want to get a little more specific, and so I have a variety of different things I can do. In this case, it's just looking at the date and making sure that one exists. But I might want to get more specific and look at the host, or I can even add specific information to my website. Maybe I want to grab a particular SKU or a particular user. This is very flexible, and Pion will enable you to pick out just the right thing so you can zero in on those users that you think are most important. A very common one I hear is people who want to see when an item is out of stock on their e-commerce site and see how their sessions differed versus other people's. So, for instance, I could look for just all the times that I see GE or those sorts of things. Anyways, in this case, what I want to do is pick that session. I'll just click on it here. And what that's going to bring me to is that's going to bring me to a replay of exactly what the user saw. I see that front page that the user saw. I can also drill underneath the covers and look at the source. So I can see exactly what they got back. If there are any hidden things, a lot of times developers will put little keys and whatnot in here that can help them find out what's going wrong when there's a problem, or if we see an error page, we're actually going to capture that as well. It can also be helpful in dispute resolution because we can see the entire flow they went through. So let's go ahead and walk through the replay here and go to the next page. Here we see we went to the leadership page, we see what the customer saw, And what we're really doing is we're walking through it, experiencing the site through their eyes. So as they move over to research and development, we'll see that as well. So for instance, if we want to look at the search terms, we'll actually see that we searched for wind energy and where that got us, and we can go ahead and see the next steps. And here we'll see the next step was that page. And then after that, they left the site, or maybe they're still active, and we're just kind of waiting for the next steps. We can also, if need be, go down and look at the page details. And I mentioned before that we're capturing information about the performance, so we can actually see how much time in milliseconds it took to get things to the end user, so that if there are performance problems, we can pick up on that very quickly, and we can drill down and understand why they're having challenges when they're having challenges. So Pion for Replay will provide you with that deep visibility for every end user to understand how they flowed through your site, what they saw, and when something went wrong, you can see right away what that was. So thank you for your time today, and I hope you have a wonderful day.